Health in the modern day has just become this insane headache. We live in a world where society is set up that our health is naturally just deteriorating day by day. We live in a place where toxins and poor quality food are everywhere, and where low quality sleep, sleep deprivation, and unhealthy habits are super, super common, just creating this culture where it's really weird to be any type of reasonable health. And so I was thinking about this recently. A lot of people are so easily falling into the pitfalls of a very rigid, healthy life, where you create these very structured habits that create some good levels of health, but they're hard to maintain in the long run. So this is just a reminder, and my advice to myself, my younger self. I wish I had known this, and I wish I was more aware that I could have lived a very, very different life. I've never really wanted to live a super regimented health routine. I've never wanted to have to take these specific supplements or do this exact amount of exercise per day. I've always wanted to kind of be able to just live effortlessly and be healthy at the same time. And so what I'm building towards more and more now is just a life where health comes easily to me. And I'll break this down a little bit further, how you can really achieve a life that gets basically the same results at maybe 10% of the effort or discipline. So number one is sedentary living. A lot of people who are still very health focused are not actually very active during the day. I learned this when I was a runner for many, many years. I would run a lot, so I'd technically get a lot of steps, but I'd be really still living a pretty sedentary lifestyle. I would sit in school all day. I would come home, I would sit and do work and study and hang out, and all that time would be sitting. Really, the only time when I'd actually be walking is when I was running. But that would still get me those 10,000 steps a day, but in reality, I still was not being very active. Now, I get probably at least as many steps without doing any running at all. And I find it way more easy, way more fun to be able to maintain that same amount of activity. I just build it into my everyday life. So I'm walking places all the time. I'm walking to classes, I'm walking to the coffee shop, I'm walking downtown to go shopping, stuff like this, which just makes it super easy to get steps in, but also have a lot of fun. People forget that you can get the same amount of exercise walking on a treadmill or walking downtown with a friend having a chat, or walking and doing some window shopping, looking at stores and stuff. It really doesn't matter to your body what you're actually doing, if you're on a treadmill or if you're actually having fun. It really just matters how many steps you get, where your heart rate is at, all this metabolic stimulus that has nothing to do with how boring the exercise actually is. So to some people, it would be just insane for them to get less than 10,000 steps in a day. They would have to have literally broken their leg for that to happen. And we kind of want to get to that place where it's just so easy for us to be exercising all the time. And how you do that is really just by building it into your everyday life and making it fun. So building it into your everyday life means, honestly, when I go places, I park in the parking spot as far away from the entrance as I can, because I want to be able to get as many steps going into that store and going back out of that store without adding any extra time that I have to be exercising. It's super easy to just have these small little things that you just naturally start getting more and more steps on. If you get into the habit of just going on walks with some music in, going on walks, listening to an audiobook, or chatting with somebody, it's genuinely something that's quite fun, but way more enjoyable than being on a treadmill or a stationary bike and just grinding away, and also gets you the same effect, the same stimulus. So really, it might be something different for each person here, but finding ways in which walking or activity are a natural part of your life that you enjoy is super awesome. Next is supplements. This is something that's super common for people to be taking a lot of supplements. I mean, especially even in the biohacking space, Brian Johnson is famous for taking 100 plus pills a day. And that's never something that's really appealed to me. Ideally, I just want to eat a balanced diet that is going to get me the vast majority of all the micronutrients that I need to be able to function well. And so I think having just good amounts of variety, you don't even need to be insanely specific about it, having good amounts of variety, having fruits, vegetables, and different colors of each, just getting you all those micronutrients that you need. Realistically, for me, I'm not so concerned about it that I want to be supplementing very specific individual things, with the exception of just big heavy hitters that I don't really have to think about too much. So creatine is one of those heavy hitters for me. To me, it's a no-brainer to be taking. And so I have that every day with my pre-workout before I go and lift. And so to me, that's just something that's very easy. I'm already going to have pre-workout, so I just mix it in there. I don't have to think about it very much at all. But when you start having to surround your life with your supplement routine, like when you're actually having these supplements, when you're having this protein or whatever, I think it kind of starts to degrade your life quality. I ideally just want to not have to think about it. Just eat holistically and be 80% of the way there to that optimal health. One of the huge things, though, that has hugely negative impacts on our health is just technology. The more I realize this, the more I understand how technology is just an absolute bane for health. Like, it will ravage it, it will destroy it. And if you give it any chance, tech companies will addict you to sedentariness, to stimulation, and to just constant intake of content. Phones are genuinely like the worst thing for your health, not only mental health, but also literally physical health, for a multitude of reasons. If you're on your phone, you're going to be way more likely to be sitting for long periods of time. You're also way more likely to be in bad posture. You're way more likely to be hunched forward, causing those neck problems, those back problems that you're going to experience later in life. In addition, the technology used to create phones, the technology in your phone, the Bluetooth and cell service, actually has a large amount of what is called EMFs, or electromagnetic frequencies. This is something that's still kind of up for debate in the scientific community, but I would way rather be safe than sorry on this. To me, putting my phone away from me, keeping it out of my pocket, and really getting away from all these very negative impacts that it could probably have, I'm okay with that. Is it crazy to not put my phone in my pocket? I don't think so. I don't think that's something crazy, especially if it's going to have potential very negative long-term side effects. In addition, blue light is actually really, really bad for you as well. There's more and more evidence that is continuing to come out that suggests that unfiltered blue light has really bad effects for your skin, and it also has almost carcinogenic effects that might possibly cause actual cancer in your skin, like skin cancer, which for a long time we've associated with just like sunburns. But it's starting to look like now it might be possible that it's actually blue light that is causing some of this. When we filter light through windows and we filter light through sunscreen, then we start getting some pretty bad effects with just blue light coming in and causing some really negative skin damage that might be causing cancer as well. So really just staying away from phones as much as possible, since they are really the most addictive form of this, they follow you everywhere, is a huge step to just naturally becoming way healthier. I mean, all of health is really just habits, and it's really a big cultural shift that we need to make, especially in America where I'm from. Our national health averages are very poor, like high obesity, high child obesity, high early mortality, just because of our very poor culture of health. We are often quite sedentary. We find that normal. We often have quite bad diets, and we find that normal. And this is just something that if you associate yourself with people who really have good views on health, who are promoting it as something that is virtuous, that is like really one of the most important things ever, that is how you make it so much easier for yourself. It's just societal change that will help you. So following people like Brian Johnson, like Andrew Huberman, like me, who are really speaking into this and connecting you with a community of larger groups of people who are really focused on health, is one of the easiest ways to just elevate yourself in that manner. All right, boys. Health can be easy and it can be effortless. And I will continue to try and show you this through updates on the habits that I have, my personal routines, and how I am trying to stay healthy as possible. It is difficult, but it's well worth it.